Hi, I'm Rock.
And I'm Trey.
And you're watching
Rockin' with Trey. Hey everybody, we are back having a nice time hanging out over to some family's house. So, what part of the story are we at?
What happened after the breakup?
So, 20 years later.
After we broke up, I ended up becoming a 4-year starter at Ball State, signed with the Giants, New York Giants in the NFL. After the draft, was there for a little while. Ended up getting released because I hurt the same knee that I had surgery on in college. Then after that, I played arena football for 11 years, different teams. So they took me from Indianapolis to Fort Wayne to Bloomington, Illinois to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And I know everybody's like, South Dakota? Yeah.
Well, I'm tripping
Dakota.
off the part that he just kind of threw in there that he played for the NFL Giants. Like, it's like no big deal. Like, that is a huge deal. You just kept on going with the story. Like, yeah, you know, I played with the Giants. I played with them. Blah, blah. That is huge. That is a major accomplishment. And even while you were in college, that was just such a big goal of yours. And you hit it.
Yeah, it was a big goal.
That's awesome.
It was the goal since I was probably like 5.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was a great time. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed my time there. Enjoyed my time playing football. Ended up winning a few championships. Ended up coaching football collegiately and professionally indoor football. So I had a great time. It was a blast. And during that time. Obviously, I dated, obviously, you know, things like that. And yeah, ended up getting engaged, never married. We were together for about 14 years. Had, I say 3 kids. One, my daughter, who I raised when she was 4, and then 2 boys.
And he homeschooled. You gotta tell that part. That's pretty good, too.
So, ended up living in Russia, Turkey, Greece, Spain. So just a lot of travel, and it was fun homeschooling Bree because it was a lot harder to find American English-speaking schools, I should say. So we ended up homeschooling her, which was different, but you know it worked. And then
and now she is
a sophomore at the University of Kansas with a major in psychology, so
doing big things.
I didn't do everything wrong, but you know
she's doing great.
Yeah, she's doing great.
Yeah,
and there was a lot of good times in between there. So it was, you know, like, you know, going back to previous, it was always like, man, what if? But you know, you live and learn. Because I thought the whole time we didn't talk. I think we talked one time for like a couple minutes in 2007, and I got a call. And she's like, hey, Rock. And I'm like, who is this?
No, let's tell the story right. So this is what happened. He says that he was, you know, very nice and very polite on that phone. But on the other side of the call, all I felt was a slight attitude.
Yeah, it might be like very slight. Like
that's because, yes, he doesn't give off much attitude. He's a good guy, nice guy. We know that. But on this day, it was a little slight attitude like,
Anyway, she called. I didn't know who it was at first. We hadn't talked at all. And I was like, who's this? And she's like, oh, it's Trey. I'm like, Trey who? And she's like, Rock. And I was like, oh, yeah, it's Trey. She's just like, just kind of catching. I was like, I followed your career. And I'm like, what kind of stalker is this?
But you know, I didn't say it like
I'm
that.
just joking.
It wasn't no stalking. It was just like a, you know, that's my
cool.
boy. I want to check up on him and make sure, you
they
know, like.
I like to play around.
They don't know.
It was really cool. It was sweet. It was like, you know, it was, because, you know, like I said, we hadn't talked, so I didn't know what was going on with her, and obviously for her to still follow what I was doing, I thought was pretty cool. So we talked. I may have not been a little rude. Oh, you know, I'm dating and you would like her. Kind of like that.
Yeah, he really said that.
I did say that.
Which was fine. That I wasn't calling for any other reason other than just to say, hey, Rock.
Yeah, so that might have been a little bitter on my part.
It was a shot.
I apologize since then for that. I think
I know, you did.
More than made up for that.
You did.
You know, I was in a relationship, so I was like, man, I can't talk to her. Because I knew who she was to me. So I erased her number as soon as I got off the phone. And I never spoke to her again. I'm a pretty good guy, so just the appearance. I thought, you know, she was married, and I just didn't want those old feelings coming back. Just erased it, and she never called back. I never talked to her again, never saw her. So it's like crazy. It's like just like how in the world after 10 years do we talk, and then another 10 years go past, and it's crazy, man. Life is definitely something that you can't predict.
Yeah.
Something you can't control. It's kind of like, you know, you just, in a lot of cases, you just hope for the best because you never know what road you end up finding yourself going down. So, but yeah, that's kind of what happened. And then played football till I was 33. Coached for a couple years in South Dakota, in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Ended up staying in South Dakota until I moved back home. So I had left Indianapolis after school. So like 2000, I had left Indianapolis for good, like 2005. So I've been gone from Indy for 12 years, almost 13 years.
And all his family's from here.
Yeah. But I had no intention of ever coming back. And lo and behold, back in Indianapolis, back where it all started. So, like I said, I have a 19-year-old beautiful daughter, sophomore. Then I have RJ Rock Jr. He's 6, and he's super tall, funny, precocious, very, very, very intelligent. And then they have Walter, who's 3, and he's more rough and tumble, in your face,
like The Rock.
Like but he's funny too. They're all sweet kids. They're all sweet, very good kids. Very loving, very caring.
Yeah. I love seeing them together because before he moved back here, we would always like use one of the apps where we could, you know, see each other because he wasn't living here, and so watching them together was just like, he's the best dad in the world. I've never seen it. You know, I always brag about my dad. Chicken. You guys will have to hear about Chicken later. But I've always said I've got the best daddy in the world. I will challenge anyone. But I just always have said that because my dad was affectionate. He was loving. He didn't mind telling you he loved you and how beautiful you were and that you all that and that, you know, he was just that dad. You know, that was everything for you. And he was a great provider. He always made sure I had the best. And I always looked at him like, he is a really good dad.
Check out what's coming your way on Rockin' with Trey.
Kill him, beat him, kill him, Jesus, spit. I mean, they were playing a crucifixion game. Lord, is this right?
A lot of it was unexpected.
I tell you what was unexpected, and it's this.
I never thought we'd be back with this one.